In this video, I'm going to talk about why mastering the art of one strategy is the most powerful thing you can do to improve your trading. So you might ask, why is one strategy so powerful? That's because one strategy reduces noise and analysis paralysis. It builds confidence through repetition and experience, and it also makes it easier to track, tweak, and journal. When you stick to one specific strategy, you just ignore everything else and only focus on one craft. You know that saying that goes, I don't fear the man that has practiced one kick 1,000 times, rather than the man who has practiced 1,000 different kicks. And the apologies, I butchered that completely, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's the same thing. Like, if I just focus on trading one asset class, let's just say the nasdaq, one strategy, one time frame, one session, this is how you can master your trading. And this is the best thing I would recommend for a beginner. Because to be fair, when I was first struggling as a trader, I was first focusing on stocks, and then I was focusing on gold, and then I kept switching to nasdaq, and then I kept changing the time frame. I would trade in the 1 minute, and then the 15 minute, and then in the 5 minute. And then when I stuck to the 5 minute, I was seeing some consistency, but that's when I thought, like, I just need to stick to one single time frame for now and just master this. And then once I started getting multiple payouts with the 5 minute time frame, and I started noticing that the market conditions would change. So that's when I started to adapt my strategy at the 5 minute to the 15 minute. And then in the 15 minute to the 1 hour, to the 2 hour, and to the 4 hour. By mastering one single asset class, I can basically identify the patterns and the characteristics of this particular asset, which is the nasdaq. So I know that, okay, cool, even if I do miss like an entry on the 5 minute of my during the New York session in the morning, I can always still enter on the 15 minute or on the 2 hour if there's a good draw and a good setup. And this is what I've been doing recently. It's been quite successful, because I think recently a lot of the big expansions have been before the New York AM session. And usually if there's a big expansion like prior to 9:30 or at 9:30, then 10 to 11 usually tends to consolidate, and I usually have to wait for a setup between 12 to 1. So just see, all of this is just because I literally started studying NASDAQ a lot, and I kind of understood the different patterns and characteristics of the asset. So the next thing would be, how should you choose your strategy? And that's very dependent on the kind of person you are. So if you're a person that's very impatient, I would highly recommend sticking to the lower time frames. Not the 1 minute, because the 1 minute is just too quick and there's a lot of noise. So I would recommend at least the 5 minute at bare minimum. Ideally you start on the 15 minute, because the price doesn't move as fast and you can actually understand what's going on, and then try to draw that to the 5 minute. Because the 15 minute is good, but you might not get many setups, and the 5 minute for me is the sweet spot. And like, if I miss a setup, I'm not too bothered, because you see a lot of setups in the 5 minute. Even, I wouldn't say during a day. Usually it's at least one a day, but you have at least 3 for a week. And then if you're someone who's very busy, like ideally working an office job, you don't have time to look at the charts as much, then I would say to become a swing trader, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to hold a position over many weeks or even many days. Ideally, when I swing trade, I tend to hold a position for like 1 to 3 days maximum, because I don't like holding trades over the weekend, especially with Trump and the tariffs, and I don't know, like recently it was the DeepSeek as well. There's a lot of volatility in the market these days. And with Trump, if you're holding something over the weekend, you're almost gambling. I can guarantee you that. And the next thing would be to become a backtest bot. So before you can even decide, or before you can even spend any money in the live market, before buying any challenges, the first thing I would do is try to find a strategy that has worked very well on historical data. By historical data, I mean at least 100 trades or at least 2 years. Like if you're trading at the 5 minute, trading backtesting tools is going to be quite difficult at the beginning. So that's why I would recommend sticking to at least 100 trades. And after backtesting 100 trades, I would recommend getting one of the free trial prop firm challenge accounts. It can either be from like FTMO, Alpha Capital, or from the Next. And then what I would do is I would forward test this, because when you forward test particular setups, what happens is you start to notice different things that you would not notice in your backtesting. Because in your backtesting, you don't really train your patience, because as soon as you're done with one trade, you just move on to the next. But when you're forward trading in a real live market, like let's say I take a loss today, and in my backtesting I see that I only take one setup a week or like 2 setups a week. Now if it's Monday, I have to ideally wait for a few days till I get my next setup. Whereas in your backtesting, you might just, within the next 1 minute, you're already in the next setup. So like things like revenge trading and all of these other psychological issues, like let's say yesterday I was very sleep deprived, and I came back from my holiday from Lisbon, where I knew I was going to miss like Thursday and Friday. I didn't trade because I was on holiday and I was traveling. But then I also noticed that I missed some insane setups, like 3-4 hour setups. And last week would have literally been one of my record weeks if I'd actually traded. And I got back extremely late from my flight, and I woke up quite early yesterday. So I was already on 3 hours of sleep, and then you mix that with like you chasing the trades you missed last week. So yesterday I did take a loss, but I did not send the setup on the group because I already told the group like it's a low probability they not trade. But then I was on this insane win streak, and confidence is high. But anyways, I was only down around I think 1%, which is not even that bad, to be honest, considering that on previous occasions if you mix the same ingredients, I would probably be down like 3%. So going down from 3% to 1% is very good. The goal is to not eliminate tilt completely, because we're all human, but to like reduce it and keep it under control. So yeah, in this video I essentially talked about why you should become a backtest bot, and once you become a backtest bot, switch it to forward trading. And using all of this, I feel like you literally fast track your way into becoming a profitable trader. And with the help of my free trade ideas and VIP analysis as well, which I link in the description if it's something you're interested. I've hit around 150R, risking 1% per trade since I started trading last July on Telegram. And yeah, I haven't deleted a single setup. Everything's there for you to see. Link in the description. If you're also interested in taking your trading to the next level, seeing my VIP analysis and different swing setups as well, then check out the VIP Discord as well. I think we have a 7-week free trial. And obviously after the past few weeks I've been having a very high win rate, I've obviously increased the price, and the price is going to continue to increase. So if you want to get in, I would suggest you do so now, because I'm only going to get better with time. And yeah, the price is only going to go up. And yep, I'll see you on the inside.